the playoffs, some of the greatest games in baseball history. You know, Jeremy Giambi, if he had slid, you know, things
Sure.
like that. The relay throw by Jeter, the flip play, you know, things like that. What I will always remember are these. It's not just these playoff series; they were classic playoff series.
Well, all right. So I'll start with the first thing you said about Jeter's flip and Jeremy sliding, and then I'll go to the us losing in the playoffs. So,
well, he's safe if he slides, right?
Well, okay, but here's the only thing. I wish it'd be interesting to see if we had replay and at the how clear the cameras are today.
Mm-hmm.
That'd make it interesting. The other thing that most people don't realize is Jeremy probably never should have been on first. We had always pinch run Eric Burns in a situation like that.
Another great guy, Eric Burns.
So Eric, he wasn't a starter. He was basically just a pinch runner toward that year when I believe he got called up that year. So he was always just a pinch runner. They talk about Jeter practicing that. That is complete BS.
Yeah, there's no.
I'm sitting in the dugout, and I'll tell you what it is. So as a shortstop, when a ball's hit down the right field line like that, you kind of jog in between second and first because you're kind of the second cutoff man on a throw to third for a triple. Well, the minute, who was the right fielder? Shane
Spencer.
Shane Spencer. The minute he picks that ball up and throws it, Jeter's kind of floating in between on the infield grass, almost floating towards the pitcher's mound. Well, the minute that ball is thrown and it's airmailed, he takes off running. So that's why that
There's
play
no way
developed.
It's practice. Yeah.
No, it's not practice. That's the New York media acted like it was practice. You don't practice anything like that because you don't practice that throw.
No, it's a great instinctual play, but it's not something by design.
That's exactly right. So he takes off running and he flips it. So Jeremy's called out. Okay, we lose 1-0. Never did I really think we were going to then lose the next two games. I'll say this for those teams. We never had the veteran playoff guys. I would say we pitched okay in all of those playoff series. We didn't pitch great. Our offense struggled in a lot of those playoff series, I believe, because, over a season, walks and homers, they work. But when you're playing in the playoffs, you're now generally facing the best pitching rotations in the game. So you're not going to get walked and you're not going to hit as many homers. So when I got traded to St. Louis, and our first year in 2005 with them, when we went to the playoffs to play the Padres, our locker room, I could not begin to tell you how different that Cardinal locker room was compared to our Oakland A's locker room going into the playoffs. When I was with the Cardinals, it was, all right, let's go sweep the Padres and move on to see who we play in the next series, and let's figure out how to get to the World Series. That was the attitude of that team with Larry Walker, Reggie Sanders, Scott Rowland, Jim Edmonds, Albert Pujols. Not that Albert had really been there, done it that many times, but the other guys had. So that is not how it was in Oakland. In Oakland, it was, can these guys pull it off? And you could tell come playoff time, our locker room vibe was different. I think everybody was a little bit more uptight. Everybody was a little bit more like, all right, here we go. And when I look back at it, at that time, I didn't realize that our locker room was that way. But when I got traded to St. Louis, that's when I realized our locker room was like that.